Did Burger King start in Wilmington, Delaware? Well, the answer to that question is kind of yes and no. It's a little bit complicated, so I was hoping to clear that up today. So here's some stats on Burger King as of 2018. There were over 17,796 locations in over 100 countries. They employ 34,248 people. They made $2 billion in revenue in 2012, and apparently they sell over 2.1 billion Whoppers a year. I can't confirm that. These are stats from Wikipedia, but basically I'm just putting this up to illustrate what most people already know, that Burger King is a household name all across the world, essentially. So this is the founder of Burger King, James Mclamore. And just how did Burger King come about? Well, the official story goes that Burger King started as Insta Burger King in 1953 in Jacksonville, Florida. Soon the company was acquired by this man, James Mclamore, and also an associate, David Edgerton. It was headquartered in Miami, Florida, and they soon expanded to 250 stores all across the state. In 1957, CEO James Mclamore invented the Whopper when he noticed that a rival burger chain down the street had a bigger burger that customers seemed to like. He named the burger the Whopper because he believed that the term conveyed a large-sized burger. The Whopper burger has had numerous variants over the years, but has usually consisted of a sesame seed bun, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, and a beef patty. And this was essentially what put Burger King on the map. That is actually an early ad for the Whopper. So if Burger King was founded in Miami, Florida, and that's where it expanded, what exactly is the connection to Delaware? Well, in 1996, just before he passed away, James Mclamore wrote a book on the founding of Burger King. And he basically said in the book that at the age of 21, he got his start in the food service industry, being a food service manager in Wilmington, Delaware at the YMCA, which was on Delaware Avenue. So there's the logo for the YMCA. While working there, he noticed that there was a fast food chain across the street. It was one of the very early fast food chains called the Tuttle House. And that's a picture of the Tuttle House. That's not the one that was in Wilmington, but similar concept. So James was inspired to open up a fast food store right next to the Tuttle House. And it was located on 400 Delaware Avenue, and it was called the Colonial Inn. He opened it up in 1950. Now, Mclamore's restaurant was, in fact, at the time serving burgers, and they had the fast food concept that he later transitioned over to Burger King. So James Mclamore, he lived in Wilmington, Delaware on a farmhouse with his wife and kids, but he decided that he didn't want to live there anymore, and he picked up and he moved to Florida. So he kept the Colonial Inn for a few years, but it was becoming a burden to travel back to Delaware to take care of it. So he finally sold the restaurant in 1953, and he moved to Florida and was in Florida, and that was where he got the inspiration for Burger King. So he had a lot of success with the Colonial Inn in Wilmington, and then he partnered with David Edgerton, and then he opened up Burger King. So if you go to the spot today on Delaware Avenue in Wilmington, the YMCA is still, in fact, there. Now, I don't know if it's the same exact building, but it's very similar to what he describes in his book about where everything opened up. And if you go down to 400 Delaware Avenue, where the Colonial Inn was, it's now a Bank of America building. And there's another shot of it. And so while that was not the first Burger King, that was the very first restaurant that the founder of Burger King opened up and later became the inspiration for Burger King. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people, actually most people, who go in that place or walk by that place and have no clue that of the history behind that building. So the only reason I found out was because I decided to read that book, and which most people probably haven't read. So I just wanted to bring that to light.